up, Modus fam? Thanks again for joining me. So I have a very special guest today. He's a friend and an awesome instructor. This is Tanner Walker. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so today we're gonna go over one movement that's actually part of a 4-movement series. So we're gonna break down the movement, the cat. And what's awesome about the locomotion series is that it's gonna build joint mobility, strength, coordination, good movement for climbing. So you actually build these skills so that you can climb better. All right, so let's get this done.
Hit it. So the first pattern we're gonna look at is the cat crawl. So to start out, Mercedes is just gonna get on all 4s. And from here, she's just gonna lift her knees slightly off the ground. Awesome. So what we're just looking for is having a flat back. Go ahead and send your butt super high. Nay, nay, not wanting to be up in the bear. And if you go any lower, you hit the ground. So just keeping the knees off, hips and shoulders in line. The shoulder position, she can either be neutral or she can protract. So think about pushing your spine up towards the sky. The only thing we don't really want to do is to be fully retracted. It's not a huge deal either way, but just to help with some shoulder stability, staying neutral, again, awesome. Or if you want extra oomph, really protracting, pushing hard away from the ground. From here, she's gonna move in a contralateral pattern. So with this, you could think opposites, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. So taking small steps, keeping that back flat the whole time, not sticking the butt up in the air, nay, nay. Awesome, great. And you can also go in reverse. Very nice. That's the cat crawl. So the second variation we're going to take a look at, still starting out of the cat position, is called the cat step through. So Mercedes is going to start in the cat. She's going to take her left leg and kind of stick it through the gap. She can lift this arm off the ground if she likes, kind of like a traditional sit through. And then from here, she's going to take her right leg and bring it back over the top, finishing back in a cat. We'll do the opposite side now. Sticks the right leg through, connects, and brings the leg back. So you can see as she steps through, it's almost like her belly button's gonna start facing up towards the sky and those hips are kind of opening towards the sky. And then she's gonna take that leg and close it back towards the ground. So stepping through and closing, great. With the same move, rather than staying in one position, you can actually slightly travel forward and travel back. So we'll try and travel forward first, where she'll step through. And now as she closes, she'll take a little step up with her hand. Yep, and then closes the leg. Leg comes down, steps through, closes the leg. Very nice. And then can do the same thing, moving backwards, stepping through. As she goes to close, the hand will just come closer towards her feet. Yes, nice. Towards her feet. Great. The third variation we're gonna look at out of this cat position is the Rotator Cat. So once again, starting in the cat, it's gonna start very similar to our step through, but now instead of closing that hip, Mercedes is gonna bring her hand back, pull the leg back to a crab position. From here, we're gonna still keep rotating the same direction. So the opposite leg comes out, yep, pulls it back through, voila, back into the cat. So turning to her right, ends up in a crab, turns to the right, back to the cat. Very nice. So now that we've looked at these 3 different variations of the cat, we're gonna start working them together into some integrated sequences and then later into a closed system flow. So closed system flow, I like to think of not totally doing whatever you want moving around, but working on specific patterns and kind of limiting the pool of what you're flowing between. So in this situation, we have our cat sit through, and we have our rotator cat. Before we flow between those 3 options though, we're gonna work on just creating a little sequence between 2 of them. So Mercedes is gonna start out, and we could think of the cat as kind of the home position here. She can cat forward. She can kind of lead like a car and start to turn in the space. She can cat backwards, right? And you kind of think of using this position to move any way you want within the space. It's kind of fun sometimes too to think rather than just moving in straight lines, but almost as if she's a marker. How can she move across and through the room using just this pattern? Now, using this cat as the home, we're gonna combine cat and the sit through. So at any point, she can sit through. If she wants, she can sit through again. And at any point, she just goes back to that cat if she can't think of what to do. So thinking of 1, keeping the flow going, not wanting to stop moving. 2, if she can, she'll try and find new connections. So she steps through with the left leg, steps through with the right leg, changes direction in the cat. Step through, very nice. Step through, awesome, great. And this is something that doesn't have to follow a specific routine, right? She can explore and kind of create new pathways, find new ways to combine those 2, not only in the space, but just when she makes a change to the other pattern. So one way to integrate cat and sit. So this next sequence we're gonna do is going to be the cat plus the rotator cat. And a simple kind of equation way of thinking about combining these patterns is almost just to give them a little letter. So let's say a cat today is our A pattern. The sit through, which we just did, was our B pattern. So in the previous shot, we did A plus B, B plus A plus B. We were just working between those 2. Now we're gonna do cat, rotator cat, so you could think of rotator cat as being C. So A plus C, C plus A. Just moving with those 2 different patterns. So Mercedes is gonna start off just like the last time, catting any way she wants, exploring the space. And whenever she wants, she can sequence it into our rotator cat. So stepping through, continuing to rotate, back to the cat. Continues to cat, good. Very nice. Notice sometimes she cats forward, sometimes she cats back, curves in the space. It doesn't need to be this straight line forward and back, but you can kind of find some more organic ways to move, combining these together. The last sequence we're gonna look at is now going to be the sit through combined with the rotator cat. So if we were to think of kind of that letter equation again, now it's gonna be B plus C, C plus B, 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 C, C, B, C, that kind of idea. So no more are we gonna use that cat as the connection point. Now Mercedes is either gonna be needing to do just the sit through or just the rotator cat. Sit through, nice. Sit through, rotator cat, great. Still finding ways to move in the space, that's awesome. That was cool though, it was like jumping ahead.
And then sometimes you mess up and you just keep going.
Yeah. So that's all great. Think of these 2 as just templates of ways to move and start, like Mercedes just did, where she stepped through and then reversed it. there's no rules to locomotion. You can totally do that. That's all good. Later we'll add in more patterns, so you'll have some more options to work within. The nice part about this is it kind of makes your brain work to figure out how you can stick within kind of that limited vocabulary. But if you end up going outside of it, it's all cool.
All right, so that was the cat variations. Thanks again for watching all the way through this video. I hope you learned something. And again, you can use these to really help you with your flexibility, your strength for climbing. I hope you can see how this relates, especially to the coordination of the movement. So check us out. In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna come out with another video for the series, and you're gonna learn more and more how to piece these movements together. So thanks again.